Hey guys, it's Michelle from Cozy Egg, and I wanted to do a brief introduction. I'm putting together a video of a project that I have been working on. Um, but I wanted to do just a quick intro to sort of explain it. So, typically, my channel is focused on cross stitching, there is some quilting, etc., um, what have you. but this project is a little bit outside of that usual box for me. So this is about a dollhouse that my grandmother made for me from a kit back when I was little. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. I don't remember exactly when she gave it to me. Um, But she basically purchased a kit, put it together, and also as part of that, she made almost all of the furniture for it. There were a few pieces that she purchased, but most of it she bought. She made herself, probably from kits. Um, but, it was an amazing gift, and I absolutely cherished it. when when she gave it to me, it was raw wood, so it wasn't painted. She had decorated the inside insofar as she had put wallpaper up, in each of the different rooms. There was no flooring, but there was wallpaper, and of course, then all of the furniture. But she wanted me to, decide how I wanted to decorate the outside of it, the exterior. So basically, at some point, I decided, okay, let's paint this thing. And, enlisting the help of my parents, we painted it basically white with sort of dusty blue shutters. And a door, that same dusty blue, etc. And then, of course, a little later on down the road, I decided that I really wanted to have lights in it. I had seen other dollhouses that had lights. I wanted lights in mine. So I, again, as a child does, enlisted the help of my parents to electrify it. And that's kind of where it went off the rails. Um, they, they took apart some things in order to try to put the electricity in. Some room dividers were removed in order to do that, and it never did quite get electrified. So then, of course, it sort of fell into misuse because it was sort of half apart at that point. My parents never kind of went back and got the rest of the work done, which I'm sure made my grandmother thrilled. But so fast forward to many, many, many years later, and as I was in the process of getting things out of my parents' house and moving them into my own, there was no place for the dollhouse. It's rather large, and there was just no place to put it. So it, along with many other things, went into storage. And it moved from storage to storage to storage. At one point, it was in a warehouse. At one point, it was in a couple of different storage units, that you rent, none of which were climate controlled, etc. So you can imagine that just over time and not being in a climate controlled environment and being in disrepair to begin with, none of those things helped. Fast forward to many years again later, and I ended up with a leak in my storage unit, and a lot of things were absolutely ruined. The dollhouse at that point had been put into a very large cardboard box, um, and inside of that cardboard box, my dad, being who he was, tried to protect it as much as possible. And so he had sort of put some carpet remnants underneath it and sort of around it to pad it a little bit, which in hindsight was probably not the best idea, because once that box got wet and then set in water, while the cardboard eventually dried back out, that carpet kept that moisture. And so some of the first photos that you will see are of the dollhouse when I pulled it out of storage initially after that. And the entire base that it was attached to was destroyed. I mean, it was just gross. And because of that, the house had sort of lost, its structure, it was no longer sound. So eventually, when I cleared out my storage unit, the dollhouse came home with me, and Eric and I then, went about trying to do what we could to repair it, to put a new base on it, to try to, get it solid so that it wasn't going to, get more damage, etc. And as we were going through that process, I kept thinking to myself, what's my end game with this? I mean, it's precious to me, even though leaving it in storage for like 20 years doesn't say that. It is precious to me because my grandmother made it for me, and she's no longer with us and hasn't been for quite some time. So there's a big part of me that doesn't want to let go of it. But when I started to think about, putting it back to, better condition and trying to restore it to, what it was really prior to going into storage, there wasn't anything about that really spoke to me. Like, dollhouses are cool, but is that something that's really, to use a KonMari terms, does that spark joy for me? And it really didn't. So then I'm left with, now what do I do with this? And, over the time that we were working on this and trying to put things back together and gluing staircases back in and shoring up the sides and all of that, putting it on a new base, I had the idea, thanks to the bloggess, and she has a haunted dollhouse. And so, of course, that speaks to my Gothic soul. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a haunted dollhouse? And I decided, yes, it would be. So, I sort of pitched the idea to Eric. He loved the idea. And so then we decided, okay, we're going to move in that direction. So when I first decided to kind of go down that path, I was doing Stitch Mania, which is, if you're not a cross stitcher, that is in the month of May. We typically choose, a new start every day for the first, 15 days of the month, or sometimes it's the number of days equal to the year, or some people do, a new start every day throughout the month of May. And so at the time, I was working on my works in progress. I wasn't doing a lot of new starts, but as part of Stitch Mania, I was vlogging every day, and then putting those videos together and uploading them at the end of the week, of each week. And so in one of my videos, I talked about the Dollhouse and my idea for it. And then throughout the rest of the month, I kept showing updates of it and where we were and what we were doing and showing our progress and everything, which was awesome. And I got tons of feedback on it. But, you know, over the years, because I think that was 2018, there are people obviously that were around that time that have seen those videos, that know that I have this thing in my garage and occasionally work on it. But there are also people that don't. So I thought, you know, it might be nice to put together, you know, one or a couple, however long it will take, videos and splice all that footage together so that it's all in one place and it's not sort of buried in these vlogs from a couple years ago. But in order to do that, I thought I probably need to do some sort of an introduction and say, here's what this project is, here's sort of how it came about, and, you know, here's the story of the Dollhouse so far. So what I'm going to show you is photos from when it came out of storage, and we peeled away that waterlogged cardboard box from it, what it looked like, and then our rescue attempts initially, which were of course all just photos, and then into the videos where I, you know, talked about it in that first vlog, and talked about, you know, my idea, and then of course into the progress photos. So I just thought that that would be something new and different. If you're into dollhouses, great. If you're not, totally fine. But that's part of why I thought this would be good as a separate video, so that one, it's easy to find, and then two, for anybody that's not interested in cross stitch and just interested in haunted dollhouse, they can go right to it. And as I progress with this project, I will do separate videos for it to show, you know, kind of where I'm at, what we've done, and then vice versa, you know, so that if you are just into cross stitch and you're not into haunted dollhouses, you don't have to watch this video. It will be clearly marked. So anyway, just wanted to give a, you know, just sort of a quick introduction and give you a little bit of the history going into it, so that you understood what you were looking at it and why. Of course, the videos are that they were part of larger vlog videos that I have clipped out. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, and if this is something that you're interested in seeing more of. You know, obviously I live in Texas, and the Dollhouse is out in the garage, so the time of year that I can work on it where it's not 1,000 degrees is fairly limited, but I'm hoping to, you know, get some more work in on it this year. So, all right. Well, enjoy, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hey guys, it's still Friday, May 5th, and you're probably thinking, what the heck is she doing? This is not stitching. But I wanted to show you my new project. So this dollhouse my grandmother made for me, I think from a kit, and gave it to me for Christmas, probably when I was 9, 10, something like that. Anyway, Um, it is one of the things that has been in my storage unit for however long I've had that unit, 15 years ish, 17 years, whatever. So we brought it home, and obviously it's got some trouble. You can see it's missing its front door, it's missing parts of the windows. We actually just went in and put in some roof shingles. The chimney actually goes there, so we need to glue that back on. It's missing some trim pieces, you know, what have you. And let me show you the inside of it. So we have been trying to, you know, do a little bit of work on it. We had to put it on a new base. The base that it was on had some very significant water damage from a flood that I had a few years ago in that storage unit. There was a big leak in the ceiling. So we took it off the old base, put it on a new base. We glued the 2 staircases back in. I still need railings on that top portion and on part of that middle section. We've put the walls in on the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, and we still need to glue that one down there at the bottom, on the bottom floor. And there's the chimney, you can see, so that needs to be glued back in as well. My parents had taken the wallpaper out way back when, in an effort to, they were going to put some lighting in it. So they had taken the wallpaper out, which is why it's in such bad shape. And then that project just never got finished. And this went into my storage unit and has been there since then. So we brought it home, and I've been sitting and looking at it and thinking, what the heck am I going to do with this thing? Because I don't know that I'm overly excited with, you know, repainting it and putting the furniture back in it that my grandmother made for me, etc. I mean, I don't want to get rid of it, but, you know, just the thought of it just being kind of as it was doesn't excite me. But then I got the thought, haunted dollhouse. And if you have never seen Jenny Lawson, the bloggess, if you have never seen her haunted dollhouse, you need to Google. Seriously. It is the coolest thing. She's got, like, you know, a potions room and a hidden door behind a staircase, behind a bookcase and things like that. Anyway, it's amazing. And so when I thought about and kind of struck on the idea of doing a haunted dollhouse, I got super excited. And then I proceeded to spend like all of last weekend on Pinterest pinning like a million different ideas for haunted dollhouses. So if you follow me on Pinterest, that's what the spam is about. So anyway, so I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm going to repaint the whole thing. My first plan is this weekend, I'm going to restain all of the shingles on the roof, because I'm going to do them a dark espresso color. One, so that the ones that we had to add back match, and then two, because I think it needs a much darker shade. So that's my first order of business, is to restain all of the roof. Once we get that done, then we're going to put that chimney back and get it glued back on, and then probably glue that wall that's down there on the bottom floor. And then my next step is going to be to paint the exterior. And I think what I'm going to do is do like a dark charcoal gray for the main color, and then black trim. And Eric suggested, I do have this sitting on cardboard, but for the new base that we've got on here, he suggested, my grandmother had wrapped the other one in brick like this, like the chimney. So I don't like that idea, but I thought, and Eric suggested that we might do like a cobblestone kind of effect here. Either glue down some little stones, or I can paint them, you know, paint that kind of look on there. So anyway, like I said, the house has some problems. Like, it's got this big crack inside. I think there's another crack on the other side that's even worse. Yeah, there's a big crack there. But, you know, regular dollhouse, that's a problem. Haunted dollhouse, no problem. I could even do, I was thinking about even doing, like, showing painting a vine, you know, kind of coming in here and growing up the inside of the wall. I thought that might be really cool. So I'm just going to leave it as is for right now. But I had to share because I'm so excited about this project. I think it's going to be super freaking cool. And so I can't wait to work on it more this weekend. Do that staining, get the chimney on, get that wall in, and then I can go to the store and look for paint. And then I can start planning out my rooms. So anyway, I would love any input that you have, any thoughts, suggestions. I would love that. Certainly go take a look at the Bloggess's Haunted Dollhouse. I have her dollhouse pinned on my Pinterest board, Haunted Dollhouse. But then you can also just Google and see pictures of hers. It's awesome. So anyway, that's all I got. It is right about 5 o'clock. So I am signing off for the day on my work computer. And then Eric should be home shortly. And we're going to have, I think we're going to have homemade pizza for dinner with some salads. So that should be good. And then I will take a deep breath and I will try to work on Colonial Garden and see how it goes. And depending on how it goes tonight will depend on what happens tomorrow, if I stick with it or if I do something different. So wish me luck, and yay, Haunted Dollhouse. Okay, real quick. I just finished doing the stain on the roof. I did it a dark espresso color. I think it's going to be really good. We'll see once it lightens up after it dries. I've got a few places like here where there was glue, and so it's not really covering that, but I think I'm okay with it. And obviously I was not able to stay just on the roof. I kind of got a little overzealous in some spots, and I probably should have done under here, but I think it's good. I think it's going to be really good. It needed to be way darker, so happy with that. And we went and got the paint. So I have paint for the house, paint for the trim. So I may work on that. Oh, and paint for the base. So I may work on that later this weekend. But I had to share. Looks good, huh? Minus my standing job. I think the color's good. Alright, more later. Hey guys, it is Monday, May 8th, and we took a look at the roof after it dried, after the stain dried, and decided that we probably did not need a second coat. So we went ahead and glued on the chimney, and you can see that we've got it supported so that it'll stay put. So, but we're really happy with how this is looking, and I've got my plan yesterday was to go ahead and paint the base with the new paint that we got, but I just didn't get a chance to yesterday with doing housework and laundry and coloring my hair and all that stuff that goes on Sunday. So I'm gonna try to maybe one evening this week do the painting on the base. So right now it's just plain wood. So we're gonna paint that, and then either paint or attach, stones to it so it looks kind of like cobblestone. That's the plan anyway. And obviously one of the things that I need to do is we've lost some of the pieces to the windows. So, and I don't have any spare pieces that are that size. So we're gonna go like over to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or someplace like that and see if I can, like over in their model section, if I can get some balsa wood that's that size, and then cut the size pieces that I need to fix the windows. You can see this one over here is missing some pieces too. So I just need to get some extra pieces so that I can fix that, because then that'll have to be painted. And some of them still have the plexi on here. I'll just pop that out so that I can paint those pieces and then put it back. But obviously the ones that are missing pieces don't have plexi on them anymore. So that is the plan. Obviously I got a little carried away with my staining, but that's gonna get painted over, so who cares. So yep, that's where we're at. And you can see like the chimney covered up all of those all of the shingles, where I didn't cut them in like this, where we had to replace shingles. So no, that looks good. I may come back at a later date and see if I can kind of age this brick so that it looks a little, it fits with the rest of the house. So we'll see. But that is my haunted dollhouse update, and I will be recording a stitching update here shortly. So happy Monday. Hey guys, it is Sunday, May 14th. I didn't record anything yesterday, so I have a couple of recordings I want to do today. I'll show you my dark 13 stitching, and then I wanted to show you the progress that we made on the dollhouse yesterday. So we got 2 coats of exterior paint on. You may remember the dollhouse was white last time you saw it. So it's now a dark kind of charcoal gray. Obviously I still have to do the trim and get it painted. It's gonna go black, as well as those columns. We also painted the base of the dollhouse. You may remember this was kind of raw wood. So that's done, and we got the trim pieces on here that were missing, and so those need to be stained. So we're going to stain those today, and then Eric got all of the windows, the window lattices fixed, remade, etc., glued in there. And so those got one coat of paint yesterday. They're going to get a second coat today, and so that should finish up the windows. And then maybe next weekend we'll do the trim. And this window used to have a little stained glass sticker thing in it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. So we'll have to figure that out. So let me show you the back. So here's what the back is looking like now. I got, as I said, all the base painted. We did this just a kind of medium gray since we're going to cover the outside with stones to make it cobblestone looking. And then we painted these pieces that are like the edges of each of the floors. We painted these the same color as the exterior, and then the walls here, the edges of the walls here are painted the same as the exterior. So so next weekend I will probably do the trim on the front windows and do those staircases, because those are going to go black. So I haven't done my door yet. It's probably going to go black too, so that'll get done when the trim gets done. And we still have this wall that we need to fix, but I figured while I was painting we'd just leave it off. So it actually goes down here on the first floor. So there you go. So staining and trim to come today. Okay, quick update on the haunted dollhouse. We got the second coat of exterior paint on Saturday. We got all of the windows done. I think I showed you all of that. So yesterday we worked on getting a second coat on all of the windows, inside and outside, and making sure that we had hit all of the exterior spots that needed any kind of touch up or anything. Obviously everything that's blue is going to be painted. The paint that I had that I was going to use for that is more brown than black. So we're kind of going back to the drawing board with that. We'll have to go pick up some actual black paint. So can't do that yet. And the columns that are in on the front there, those are going to go black as well, and so is the front door. So we got all of that painted, and we put the eagle back on there. Kind of debated about whether to put it back on or not. We decided to go ahead and put it on. We can change it later if we decide to. But all of the trim pieces on the house, I had a piece here that was missing, so we replaced that, and then we stained that yesterday. And I had a couple of big pieces over here on the end. This piece right here had to be replaced because it was missing, so got those glued on and then stained those yesterday. Got all the paint or the tape taken off, and same thing here. This had to be replaced, and then I had a little piece here. This probably needs another coat of stain because you can really see the difference there, but I think it's looking pretty good. I've got a little bit of touch up to do here. I had some spots between the house and the base that had to have a little touch up, so I did that. And yeah, so we're moving along. We didn't get nearly as much done yesterday as we did on Saturday. We got a ton done on Saturday. And so next up, along with the trim, is I'm going to be painting these staircases. Those are going to go black as well. So we'll work on that here as soon as I get my other paint. So that's the status on the dollhouse for now. I will be super, super happy to see that blue go because it's making me really crazy right now. So, yep, more to come. And I'm so excited that so many of you are excited to see this and enjoying watching the progress. So I will keep you posted as we move along.